Hi there, I'm Rita Platt, and I truly believe that one of the things that makes America among the greatest countries in the world is our unrestricted right to vote and select our own representation in government. That right is being greatly threatened here in Wisconsin. The new voters' rights law, the new voter ID law is incredibly restrictive and has the potential to disenfranchise vast numbers of Wisconsin citizens. Because the new voter ID law requires that every voter have a photo ID that would either be a Wisconsin state driver's license or a Wisconsin state ID before they can vote in the polls. It means that there are lots of folks now in Wisconsin who were previously able to vote that will no longer be able to do so. For example, I'm one of those people. I voted in every election since I turned 18. I did turn 18 in Wisconsin and voted in my first presidential election here. I moved away from Wisconsin for many, many years and am just recently back. I've lived here about a year and a half again. And I voted in 3 elections since I lived here in Wisconsin using no ID. Of course, I am an American citizen, I'm a taxpayer, and I have a legal right to vote. But because the voter ID law changed, I now have to get a Wisconsin state ID or driver's license, which I didn't previously have. I had one from Iowa. So for people like me, that's not a big, huge deal, although I do have to drive almost an hour back and forth. It takes about an hour to drive to the nearest DMV that's open for any reasonable amount of time. Hudson is about 35-40 miles from my home in Osceola, and I drove down there to get my license and was denied because I didn't have a birth certificate or a passport, so I have to go back down and do it again. I have to get my certified birth certificate first, and then I have to go to Hudson and get my license again. Well, that's not a huge problem for me because I have a good job, I earn a good living, I have a wonderful boyfriend who's willing to drive me down to get my license. I'm able to take a little time off work because I have a terrific employer who will allow me personal days. For other people, it won't be that easy. This law could disenfranchise students who don't have proper ID. Often they come from out of state. They're a huge voting bloc in Wisconsin. It could disenfranchise the elderly, many of whom who don't have birth certificates because they were born in the home or haven't driven cars in years and haven't needed to have a Wisconsin license. It could disenfranchise African American voters, a vast majority of whom in Wisconsin do not currently hold Wisconsin state driver's licenses, and the same with Latino voters. I am happy to be a part of this lawsuit against this outrageous Wisconsin voter ID law, and I am looking forward to the return of voting rights to Wisconsin.